Essence. Sweet children, never attach your heart to this old world or to bodily beings. If you attach your heart to those things, your fortune falls apart. You accumulate, you make effort, and then you go back to thinking of impurity, and then you lose your fortune. So earn fortune, lose fortune, earn fortune, lose fortune. Up, down stage. Question, what deep secret about this play has the Father told you, children? Answer, children, because this play is now about to end, all souls have to be present here. Souls of all religions will now become present. Here, because the Father of everyone is now present, everyone has now to come to salute the Father. Souls of all religions will go back with the mantra of Man Manabhav. However, they will not imbibe the mantra of Madhyajibhav, and therefore become rulers of the globe. It's a big deal. You're on the list of becoming rulers of the globe. Very few are on that list relatively. Don't let your heart break away from its support and thereby break your created fortune. Song. Thereby break your created fortune, the fortune you created for yourself. Om Shanti. Children at all the centers heard the song. You're listening to this today, and all the other children will hear it in 2 to 4 days later. If you attach your heart to this old world or to an old body, your fortune falls apart because your bodies are also part of this old world. If you become body conscious, the fortune that you are creating falls apart. From being unfortunate, you're now becoming very fortunate. Therefore, as much as possible, remember the one Father who gives you your unlimited inheritance, your unlimited fortune. Remember the Father and the inheritance. There's very little time left in this old world. You have to make effort in this world and definitely become full of all virtues. There are many who do remain pure, whereas there are others who often fall. Baba says you have to become the Father's service companions. It's very big service to make this whole world pure from impure. It isn't that everyone will help Baba. Those who become Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, the decoration of the Brahmin clan, and who helped in the previous cycle, will become sensible. The name of Prajapita Brahma is remembered. The children of Prajapita Brahma would surely be called Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. They definitely existed in the past. People also remember Adi Dev and Adi Devi. Anything that exists in the past definitely has to exist again. You know that the Golden Age existed in the past, and that there was the original eternal deity religion or kingdom there. That no longer exists. The deities of the pure family path who used to rule are now at the end of their 84 births. Now they are neither pure nor
impure.
Yes, nor do they have the kingdom. They have become impure. Father has come once again to purify them. He says, do not connect your intellect's yoga to impure beings. He didn't just say souls, human souls, even animals, right? If you're getting affected by the animals, you're having yoga with an impure being. Remember the one Father. You know that you are following the advice of the Father and claiming your inheritance from him. Baba also showed you the way to claim your inheritance. So I've said so many times, why ultimately does a soul leave anything or anyone? And they just think that that's okay and it's not influencing their judgment power. Why would you leave? I say it's because you're not content, but why are you not content?
You encounter something in yourself that needs to change and you're unwilling to.
You're unwilling to face it and renounce it. So then you blame circumstances or people for your lack of honesty to renounce that which is inside you, that which is impure. People create many different methods. Some have the pride of science, others have the pride of medicine. In brackets, they're calling it doctory. instead of doctoring. The pride of doctory. They have written that when someone's heart doesn't function, they are able to replace it with a plastic heart. They remove the real heart and they make an artificial one function. That is such a skill. That is for temporary happiness. If he were to die tomorrow, the body would finish. There would be no attainment. In Golden Age, nobody's going to get sick, right? Nor in Silver Age. And in Copper Age, they will heal you, but because very few people can do very tough surgeries, like those guys who separate Siamese twins or things, he says they get paid more money than just regular doctors because of the skill level, right? But if people did get sick in Golden Age, would one doctor charge more than another? Of course, nobody gets sick, nobody charges, but you do that because you connect your intellect yoga to what you do for a profession, and you make that a part of your identity. I'm a doctor. Because I'm a doctor, I'm special. It's a specialty. You were special without that specialty, right? So, role consciousness. That is for temporary happiness. If he were to die tomorrow, the body would finish. Then there would be no attainment. Whatever he received was only for a temporary period. They show many wonders with science, but they too are for a temporary period. This is a completely unique aspect. Pure souls have now become impure whilst taking 84 births. Those impure souls have to be made pure once again, but no one except the Father can do that. There is praise of just the one. He is the purifier of all, the bestower of salvation for all, the one who has the vision of mercy
For all.
Everyone.
for all, the leader who has mercy for all, Sarvodaya leader. These people call themselves the Sarvodaya leader. And Sarvo means Sarvo Shakti one. Sarvo means all. All are included in that. Only the Father, who is the merciful and blissful one, is remembered as the one who has mercy for all. Blissful, full, merciful, can give. And you have to have both. You have to be full and you have to, therefore, fill yourself with mercy to uplift others. What mercy would human beings be able to have for other human beings? They're unable to have mercy even for themselves. So how could they have mercy for others? They only have temporary mercy, and yet they have given themselves such big names. The Father now says, I show you such an easy way to become ever healthy and ever wealthy. This way is very simple. Simply
Remember
me, because you have forgotten me. You remain happy in the Golden Age, and you therefore don't even remember me. You've been told the history and geography of your 84 births and how you used to rule and how you were ever happy. Then day by day, you continue to come down and become Tamopradhan, unhappy and impure. Father is now once again giving you children your inheritance, as he did in the previous cycle. You follow Srimat. Srimat are directions from Bapdada. Where else, other than from him, could you receive Srimat? Father says, just think about it. Does anyone have this skill? No, only the Father shows you the way to become the masters of the world. He says there's no method other than this. Only the purifier Father gives you this knowledge to claim a high status. It isn't that by knowing the world cycle that you will become pure. Knowing the cycle isn't going to make you pure. What needs purifying? Feelings. Knowing doesn't purify your feelings. Father says, remember me. Only through the fire of yoga will the urn of sin that has become full will be burnt. The Father says, you become impure by taking 84 births. Nowadays, they say of themselves, Shivoham, I am Shiva. And then they say,
You are seven.
Tatwam, the same applies to you. Or they say that you are a form of the Supreme Soul, that each soul is the Supreme Soul. The Father has now come. You know that you have to remind others of Shiv Baba. So there you can see in these scenarios, Bapdad is on the stage speaking of Murli to all of us. Are you looking at yourself on the stage? I mean, that's a very gross oversimplification, but it is still valid. If you are Shiva and Shiva is you, then it's you up there speaking. Tell me what he's going to say next. Only the one Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, is the bestower of salvation for all. The temples built to Shiva are one thing, and the form of Shankar is another. It has to be shown in the exhibition that Shiva is incorporeal and Shankar has a subtle form. Sri Krishna exists in the corporeal form. It is correct to show Radha with him, with Krishna. This proves that they become Lakshmi and Narayan. Sri Krishna does not come in the copper age to relate to Gita. Yeah. Then you'd have to say Lakshmi has to also come. People are impure at the end of the Iron Age and pure at the beginning of the Golden Age. Therefore, he would not definitely come at the Confluence Age. So, loneliness and attachment. What's it all about? You get attached because you're lonely. What are you feeling lonely about? Why
You're not feeling Baba.
you're feeling separated from your true self. So that means when you go to somebody else to fulfill that experience, it's because you're lonely. Yeah, you can't be with Baba. How do you conquer loneliness? Spending all your time with Baba. But he doesn't have a body. That's why he tells you become bodiless. You're not used to having a relationship with someone who has a body. But it is absolutely necessary that you learn how to do that. Therefore, he, not Sri Krishna, would definitely come at the Confluence Age. Only the Father knows this. He alone is Trikaldarshi. Sri Krishna cannot be called Trikaldarshi. He cannot speak of the knowledge of the three aspects of time. He doesn't have the knowledge of the beginning, middle, or the end of the world. They say that he is a small child and that he goes to study in a college for deity princes and princesses. Earlier, there were special colleges for princes and princesses, but everything has now become mixed together. Sri Krishna was a prince, and there must have been many other princes and princesses. They must have studied together. That was a viceless world. Only Shiv Baba is the bestower of salvation for all. Human beings cannot be the bestowers of salvation for all. Only the Father comes and grants salvation, or grants everyone mukti and jivan mukti. It's been explained that there are no other religions in the time of the deities. Deities come in the second period of the cycle, after Confluence Age. Therefore, how can they exist in the Golden Age? These are Hatha yogis who belong to the path of isolation. They cannot understand Raj Yoga. This Raj Yoga is for those who belong to this family path. There used to be the pure family path in Bharat. Now, in the Iron Age, they have become those of the impure family path. God speaks, constantly remember me alone. If you attach your hearts to this old world or to relations of your bodies, your fortune falls apart. The fortune of many falls apart. If any wrong actions are performed, those will appear in front of you at the very end. So I'll get a vision of all your mistakes. However, because of being ashamed, you don't tell Baba. Many perform dirty actions. Their intellects are aware that they would become free by telling Baba about them. He is the eternal surgeon. If you hide your illness from the surgeon due to being ashamed, how would you become free from that illness? By telling Baba of the sins you have committed. That's your chart. You have to really think a lot, and you start off in a simple way at first, but then you will be forgiven. When you don't tell Baba, the burden continues to increase, your sins increase, and you become feel and become more and more trapped. Your fortune will then finish, and then there will have to be
Punishment.
misfortune. The Father says, I don't keep any connection with bodies. Constantly continue to remember me alone, and you will not perform any dirty actions. That one, capital O, is also, don't forget who's teaching you, Dharamraj. So if you hide anything from him, there won't be anyone else who would experience greater punishment than you. As the time comes closer, everyone will continue to have visions. It's now the time of settlement for everyone. All are impure. Punishment is definitely received for the sin that you've committed. Just as Jivan Mukti is received in 1 second, so too there should be a feeling of punishment in a second, that it feels as though you're experiencing the punishment for a long period of time. This is very subtle machinery. It's now that the time of settlement is now the time of settlement for everyone. Punishment definitely has to be experienced. All souls will then go back purified. Only the Father comes and purifies impure souls. No one apart from the Father has the power to do this. The urn of sin has now become full of all the sins performed by the deity souls for 63 births. There are the omens of the eclipse of Maya over everyone. The worst eclipse is over you. You were full of all virtues, whereas now you have an eclipse over you. You children have now received this knowledge. The Father tells you. You were the masters of Bharat, and you took 84 births. He tells you in a straightforward way that you truly were those beings who belonged to the deity religion. And because you then became impure, you began to call yourselves Hindus. You bartered away all your good sanskars and good karmas. So now you have to remember God in an impure way called bhakti. No one established the Hindu religion. Sects and cults cannot be called a dynasty. It is kings who have a dynasty. So Raj Yogis are the kings, so therefore they can have a dynasty. There are the kingdoms of Lakshmi and Narayan, the first, the second, and the third. It is certain that you have to become pure from impure. Because of being impure, you cannot call yourselves deities. You understand that you were worthy of worship and that you belonged to the original eternal deity religion. People only worship the images of their own religion. You had forgotten that you were worthy of worship deities, and you have now become worshipers. You now understand that the Father gave you your inheritance, and that when you became impure, you started worshiping your own images. You were worthy of worship, and you have now become worshipers. This would not be said to any other than those of Bharat. Baba 2 only comes in Bharat to give you this knowledge in order to make you into the deities once again. All souls will then settle their karmic accounts and go back home. All souls continue to call out to the Father, O God the Father. This is also something to be understood. At this time, you have 3 fathers. One is Shiv Baba, and then there is the subtler father, Prajapita Brahma. Everyone has 2 fathers, a worldly one and the one from beyond this world. In the Golden Age, you only have
One Father.
have one Father, your worldly Father. There you don't know the Father from beyond at all. Since there is only happiness there, why should they remember the Father from beyond? Everyone remembers him at times of sorrow. So why do you have to become bodiless? To go beyond the sorrow in the present, but to drastically increase sorrow of the future. This is something to be understood. There you remain soul conscious and you later become body conscious. Here you become soul conscious and also God conscious. You all have the pure pride of being the children of the Father, and you are claiming your inheritance from him. He's the Father, teacher, and Sadguru. This praise of his has to be explained. Only he comes and gives all of you children your inheritance. You had it, the inheritance, in the golden age, and you then took 84 births and you lost it in the last birth, even before the last birth. It's so easy to explain this. The Father is called the purifier, bestower of salvation for all. And if you're down to 2 degrees of purity at the beginning of Iron Age, essentially, for all intents and purposes, you've lost your inheritance. The Father is called the purifier, bestower of salvation for all. This is a world of impure ones. How can anyone here grant salvation? The many scriptures everyone has read will lead him to his final destination. So, don't read too many scriptures. Read more Murlis than scriptures. Then in his next birth, he'll be able to learn those scriptures again by heart at a very young age. Children, you have become Tamil Pradhan. Now remember the Father, and the alloy will be removed. The play is now coming to an end, and everyone has to be present. The Christ soul and all the others are also present. There's still time for giving the message grossly through words, but most of that is now happening through YouTube or Zoom. So it's getting subtler. You can just, technology is making it become subtler. They too will come to salute the Father. They won't become rulers of the globe. Therefore, they will just remember the Father and take the mantra of Man Man above. Yours, capital Y, is a double mantra. Yours means Man Man above and Madhyaji above. The Father shows you such a good method. Acha, to you sweetest beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning. From the Mother, the Father, Bap Dada, the spiritual father says namaste to you spiritual children. And
the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father.
Essence Vedana. Number 1, whilst living in this old world, you have to make effort and definitely become full of all virtues. Do not attach your heart to your old body or to this old world. Now, specifically, karmic accounts with any specific person is because in your relationship with them, those virtues have been diminished or destroyed. So that's why the forgiveness exercise is so useful, because it gets them to reconnect to their own virtue by finally overcoming the resistance of the ego that's making them not want to see the virtue in others. Not wanting to see virtues in others is because your own ability to feel your own virtue has been damaged. Don't attach your heart to your old body or to this old world. Become fortunate. Number 2, remain soul conscious and God conscious. Don't hide anything from the Father. Don't hide anything from the Father at this time of settlement. Right? Continue to take advice from the eternal surgeon. Yeah, it's a very kind of dishonest relationship. If you go in front of Baba saying, I deserve more inheritance, or I deserve the full inheritance, but you didn't renounce all the vices that are blocking you from experiencing the full inheritance. The inheritance is an experience. It's nothing physical, right? Continue to take advice from the eternal surgeon. Blessing. You constantly have the fortune of remaining close to the Father, by staying away from the influence of bad company and thereby pass with honors. Blessing, may you constantly have the fortune of remaining close to the Father by staying away from the influence of bad company and thereby pass with honor. If you would like to stay close to the Father, stay away from the influence of bad company. Many types of papers will come in an attractive form, but not be attracted by them. There are influences of many types of company. There's the company of waste thoughts, thoughts of attraction to Maya, the company of relatives, the company of words, the company of impure food, and the company of actions. So what is bad company? All of that. Those who protect themselves from the influence of all of these types of company will pass with honors. You know, activity of bad words, attraction to Maya, waste thoughts, locket company, worldly relationship company, impure food, and impure actions. That's your bad company. Doesn't matter who's manifesting it. The bad company is you being interested in spending time with those things. Slogan: become angels, so the Father himself will become your. I've experienced this.
Repeat that.
Become angels, and the Father himself will become your
Canopy of protection.
canopy of protection against adverse situations. I would never have survived all of this if it wasn't for Baba. Oh, so many times. I think that's why my faith is so strong. No matter what happens, I know Baba will protect me. I just have to be honest with him about any mistakes I make. Avyat signal. The special power that you need to become and make others become constant, unshakable, and immovable is in the point of the drama. Those who imbibe this form of power can never be
Deceived.
defeated. Deceived is the beginning of being defeated. However, first of all, apply the point of drama and transform waste thoughts, yours and everybody else's, into pure thoughts. Then on the basis of God's love, finish all the different types of obstacles of Maya that are to come. Om Shanti.